Consider this a friendly reminder from a friend here. I know a lot of people are going through some stuff right now, and what I wanted to remind you is that you've been through this before, right? Maybe not this exact scenario, but you've had nights where you didn't think you'd survive. You've been in a room full of people and you felt alone, like no one knew you were there or could understand what you were going through. You've failed before. You've been lost and you've been directionless before, yet you've survived. You've disappointed yourself before and felt like a failure. You've fought for something and lost it before. You've been betrayed and you've been hurt before. You thought you could never love again. You've had nights where you couldn't turn your brain off and you wished for a hero only to find out the next morning that you were your own hero and you didn't need one. You've been lost, yet you've found peace before. Whatever you're going through right now, you're going to survive this too, right? It's okay to break, to take breaks, to crumble, to rest, and to keep moving forward. Just because you fail, it doesn't make you a failure, right? Champions lose and fail all the time. The only ones who are failures are those who quit. Whatever it is that you're going through, no matter how heavy it is, no matter how dark it is, no matter how alone you might feel, you're going to make it through. And you're going to be able to look back on it one day and see it for what it is. I think what kind of really brought this to my attention recently in my own personal life is I had a moment where I felt like I just can't anymore, right? And I started doing some reflection on it because I realized like this is nothing. I've been through tougher than this before. I feel like no matter how out of control life has gotten, I found a way to conquer whatever it is, right? And it feels like that was the darkest dark of my life, and so I conquered it. I knocked it off the top, right? No longer will life ever get that dark. Yet then the next thing pops up and I feel in the exact same spot, right? And it's like, no matter how much I learn, no matter how many dark moments I have, there's always another one that comes around, right? And it's crazy to me because if you look at them as a series of life, like if you were watching someone else, you would be able to recognize that, oh, that first time that you went through something hard, you learned a new skill and you apply it to the second time, right? Then you found something that was slightly different and it didn't work quite right. So you learned a new skill and you learned a new strength and you keep moving forward. And if you're looking at it from the side, like from watching someone else go, you can see their journey as they might go down a little bit, but then they keep going up and they might go down and up. But in the moment, all you ever see is how you're a failure again. And I think that that's something that was really fascinating that I figured out, this last week here, is that just because in this moment, I feel like I am never gonna be good enough. So just because I feel like I'm failed and I've stumbled again and again and again, if you take a step back and look at the journey of your life, you realize that you're still getting better. You're still getting stronger, right? I saw this TikTok where this guy was like, he's like, no one cares, right? Because no one has saved me. No one has gone out of their way to help me. And it just irritated me and I couldn't fucking figure out why. I was so irritated by it. I watched the TikTok probably half a dozen times before it finally it clicked in my head. It was like, this guy is waiting for a hero. He's waiting for someone to go swoop in and pull him out of his darkness. And maybe he's not really, but that's the message that was coming across, right? And since no one was able to be a superhero for this person, this individual came to the conclusion that nobody cares, right? Which irritated me because I was like, well, that's not fucking true. I mean, how many people do I have in my life that were like, I would love to be there for you, yet when I'm going through stuff, they're not there. It's not because they don't know or they don't care, or it's not that they don't care. It's like they don't know, or they're working on their own stuff, right? And if someone were to come in and just pick you back up and put you back on your feet and be a superhero, you don't learn your own strength. You don't learn how to get back up. You don't learn how to move forward. Every once in a while, I need a friend to put a hand down to help me grab on and pull myself back up. Or if I'm in a dark hole, I want someone who's climbed out of there before to stand at the top of the flashlight and say, right there's your handhold. Right, there's the next handhold. Keep going, you got this. You're 10 feet away from the top, right? Like, I don't need a hero. All I need is a support system. And I think that was something that was kind of profound this week for me, was that I figured out that, A, we don't need heroes, right? We don't need people to step in and save us. We just need someone to help us get back on our feet and maybe dust the dust off of our knees real fast, you know? It's a little thought I had. Life can be tough, and you can feel like you're not gonna win. You're not gonna survive, and you just want to give up. What's the point, right? But just reflect on your life, because I think you'll find that you've been here before, and you've survived. You've become stronger from it. You've become smarter from it. You can learn lessons from it. And if you haven't learned a lesson from it, take a second to reflect on it and learn the lesson that's there, because there's always something to be learned from our failures, right? So anyways, that was check-in today. This is my friendly reminder from a friend to love yourself, to give yourself the grace that you deserve, to understand that just because we get knocked on our ass doesn't mean we have to stay down in the dirt, you know? In the quiet corners of unspoken days, we carve our laughter in light and praise. Through storms that howl and shadows that creep, in every heart's chamber, our promise we keep. When the world turns gray and burdens grow high, together we dance beneath the vast sky. For love knows no limits, no time set apart. True friendship whispers, I'm here, a warm heart. That's beautiful, Demon. And amazing. Like I said, we've all been in darkness before. And unfortunately, my promise to you is you're gonna be back in there again. But don't give the darkness more credit than it deserves. Remember that there's bright days too, right? It's kind of crazy to me how we go through life, right? And you could look at life almost like a day-night cycle where we have really good highs and we have really low lows. Or maybe we're lucky and it's more in the middle. But we don't give credit to the good days, right? The days where you wake up and you feel like a fucking champion and you do shit and you knock things out of the fucking park, you get growth, you get healthier, you're fucking feeling good, you help somebody else out. All these positive things are going. You could have 2 or 3 days in a row where life is fucking amazing. Then you have one night where your anxiety spikes up, where you realize you missed something and you failed. And all of a sudden, all of those last 3 days don't count for shit. Like, we give so much energy over to that negativity. I know it's tough because trust me, I struggle with it myself, but we got to start giving more weight to the positives, right? Like, shit. For the majority of us, life really isn't all that bad when you start looking at it from a big point of view. Moments suck, sure. Hell, sometimes moments stretch into weeks or even months, right? But then you look at the overall picture, the majority of us have a pretty positive life and a lot of reasons that we should be happy, that we should be positive. Yet, it's so easy to just sit there and wallow in the darkness, you know? To not reach out to anybody and then say no one cares because I'm all alone. Well, yeah, you distanced yourself, you know, self-talk here, right? You distance yourself and expect people to come find you when they're still on their own struggles, right? If you're going through shit, chances are so are the people around you, because let's face it, life is life. It sucks and it's gonna keep kicking us when we're down, but that doesn't mean no one cares. It doesn't mean people won't be there when they know, right? We all want, you know, someone to reach into our darkness and just know when we're going through stuff. Yet, how many times have all of us felt like a failure because we didn't know one of our friends was going through something? This is why I always say it's important to have a tribe, to stay connected with people, right? Because then if you're always connected with someone and you do unplug, all of a sudden it's like, wait, hold on a second. Where the hell did Mitch go? I haven't seen him in 48 hours, right? Like, what the fuck's going on? And you reach out and like, you all right, dude? No, I'm not, you know? But if you're always like playing on the fringes of a community and not wanting to go in all the way and then you disappear, well, you're not going to leave as big of an impact, right? So reach out, right? Trust isn't something that's earned by saying you'll be there for someone or even showing up for someone. Trust is earned when you reach out and you say, I need help. That builds a real bond, right? Because that lets someone know that, hey, I trust you enough that I'm going to come to you and say, I need help. And then when I receive that message, I get an opportunity to rise to the occasion and say, I'm here and I'm going to help you, right? You're never going to find true relationships if all you do is keep people at a distance and then get mad when people are at a distance, right? Take the risk, open up, find someone you think you can trust and see if you can trust them. Just a challenge, just an idea. But like I said, whatever you're going through, you've been through worse already. I mean, you had to learn how to walk at one point. You had to learn how to talk at one point. You had to learn how to make sure your parents didn't get mad at you at one point, right? We're always learning, we're always evolving. So don't stop. Don't stop. You got this.